Good afternoon, boys and girls from sunny Liverpool. It's Danny from the House of Honour podcast as part of the Wrestling Newspaper FM network. A little bit of a change of plan today. We are actually going to be making our way to Wolverhampton for Fight Club Pro, the Dream Tag Team International, is it? Or Dream Tag Team Invitational. Daniel from the Wrestling Newspaper podcast will be picking me up. We'll be heading over to Wolverhampton and we're going to see the show. It looks like it's going to be a good one. As part of the tag team tournament, we are going to have Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm in a match I'm really looking forward to be honest with you. I've seen both Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm over the course of the last couple of years. Even though they're older, they're still looking good. They've added a lot to their overall performance, and they're going to be going up against LAX, Santana and Ortiz. Been a while since I've seen these guys. I think it may have been a show in Manchester maybe last year sometime. So looking forward to seeing what these guys can do together. Other than that, we have another tournament match of the Christs, Dave and Jake OVE versus the besties in the world, Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett. Sorry if I'm looking down, I'm just looking at my laptop. Interesting to see how these guys get on. Again, every time I see OVE, they really impress me. We've got a couple of three singles matches coming up as well. And that is Ray Phoenix versus Will Ospreay, which you can't help but look forward to that match, can you? We've also got Kyle Fletcher versus Pac. First time I've seen Pac since he left WWE. I was lucky enough to see him in Liverpool Olympia. I've seen him a couple of times, but before he started at WWE in Liverpool Olympia, against Generico in an IPW pre-show before the King of Europe Cup. Fantastic match. Deserved a lot more there in the audience, but as it was a pre-show, there was maybe 50-60 people. I was front row, so I can't really complain. And then the FCP title match, which is Mark Davis versus Pentagon Jr. Clash of styles definitely, but hopefully there's something that the guys can weave together. I'm expecting good things from this match. It's also my first time at Fight Club Pro, so looking forward to seeing them. Looking forward to seeing this venue, which is I believe it is the Hangar. Heard so many good stories about the atmosphere and what have you. Also heard so many good things about the after parties, but I think that will be have to be shelved for another time, as Dan's going to be driving us back. So yeah, looking forward to it. We'll continue to make videos throughout the day and let you know how we're getting on and how the card's going. So we'll catch up with you later on today. Thanks. So we're on our way down to Fight Club Pro. We are somewhere on the M6 at the moment. I think we're approaching Stoke. Dan has done us the favour of driving us there and back. He's getting these little beeps because he's driving too fast.
I'm just trying to get under 70 now so it stops beeping. Right, we're all good now. No more beeping.
No more beeping. No more beeping.
Don't break the speed limit, people.
Road safety notice from your favourite Prestonian. We are on our way and we are looking to see this excellent show. Went through the card a little bit before and we've just done a Twitter live. However, I want to go through it with yourselves on here. We've got my favourite match I'm looking forward to, Ray Phoenix versus Will Ospreay, and also the same one for Dan, who's now stressing about the
look at the fucking state of it. Do you know what I mean? We're on a motorway. You can't see in this, but look, he's driving an Audi and he's going about 40 miles an hour on a motorway. Older woman, older. Yeah, old. There you go. No surprise. When they turn, right? I generally want to say this. Nothing to do with wrestling. I think, right, when someone turns to about 70 years old, 75 years old, it's natural that your eyes go, you get lazier, whatever, lazier, I don't know. Anyway, I think you should have to redo your driving test when you get to 75, because when they all pass their driving test, think how much has changed since then. Every time I see a bad driver, it is, I always joke about it's a woman. It's not a woman, it's always someone over 70. really winds me up.
Okay. Well, I thought that lad was about 35, so obviously
he was younger than you, but he was approaching 70 rapidly.
Oh, fuck off. Speaking of approaching rapidly, we are getting to Stoke. So yeah, my match that I'm looking forward to is Will Ospreay versus Ray Phoenix. Will you just stop stressing and drive normally?
Why is he in the third lane? He's not overtaking anybody. Well, let's see how old he is, right? We'll just play. This guy is going to be old. And he's right, watch. Look at him, he's yapping away to his wife.
This is making for a fucking riveting vlog.
Right, I'm really sorry. Watch this guy, right? He's about to get undertaken by 2 lanes. Watch. There he is. He's old as anything.
And he's
old as anything.
On his own. No wife.
Yeah,
no
she's
wife.
dead.
Okay. Right, now what I'm hoping for is that he calms down a little bit and we get back to the match. Yeah, Ray Phoenix and Will Ospreay. Dan, you're looking forward to the same match, is that correct?
Yeah, it's the match that sells the show, really, doesn't it? Obviously, if you're a non-Fight Club Pro fan, you'd probably think about going to the show for this match. I'm obviously a Fight Club Pro fan, so I'd have been going anyway. But yeah, I started being a Fight Club Pro fan, actually, because about 18 months ago, maybe, the main event of their show was Pete Dunne against Matt Riddle. Okay. Which is like a match made in WWE NXT Heaven now. So they actually was at the show, and I purely went for that match. And I'm not joking, it was probably about the 4th or 5th best match on the show. So I thought, well, you know, if I can enjoy a show that much, might as well come again. It's probably my 6th or 7th time coming to Wolverhampton. They're Fight Club Pro, for people who don't know, they've got a training school, probably one of the biggest training schools in the UK. They train wrestlers. Travis Banks is a big trainer there. Trained wrestlers like Millie McKenzie, Carlos Rojo from Team White Wolf is currently training there. So they brought through quite a few people. So yeah, it's just good to support independent UK wrestling that hasn't sold themselves to WWE.
So wink. Before we go off on a big progress rant, or before he goes off on a big progress rant, because obviously WWE are the evil empire. We are heading down there now. We'll catch up with you when we get back we get inside the building. This is my first Fight Club show. Looking forward to it. I'm trying to make myself look less fat on this video.
Who's winning the big 3 matches, Danny? We'll see if we can get them right.
We have to do predictions. You know my feelings on predictions. I'm a boring bastard. So when you're talking about the big 3, you're talking about the LAX versus Fleisch and Storm, or
Fleisch and Storm? No, I'm talking about the big 3.
The singles match.
Yeah. Okay. Phoenix Ospreay, Danny. Phoenix Ospreay.
I imagine it's going to be Phoenix, but I couldn't honestly tell you. It depends what's coming tomorrow, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going with Ospreay. Do you know what I mean? I can't see New Japan wanting Ospreay. I say that they won't be bothered, but Ospreay, he beat A-Kid in Spain last week, and A-Kid's like probably the top guy, but I think he is in White Wolf Wrestling or whatever it's called. So yeah, I got to go with Ospreay.
Right. So
you got Phoenix?
Yeah. So the next one will be Pac versus Kyle Fletcher. I've got to go Kyle Fletcher on this one. He's kind of homegrown sort of FCP, isn't he?
Yeah, they train a lot at Fight Club.
Gives Kyle Fletcher the rub, and they're on the way up at the moment, highly sought after by a lot of promotions. And I don't think a defeat in this on this stage would hurt Pac at all. What about yourself?
Is Pac still the champion in Dragon Gate?
I think so, yeah.
I'll have to go with Pac then. I don't know, some of these Japanese wrestling companies, they don't really like the champions losing, you know, willy-nilly. As you saw from when Pac faced Sabre, that match ended in, I think, a DQ. Pac against Ospreay, that ended in a 30-minute time limit draw, I think. So I'll have to go with Pac. Although really, as like Danny said, Fletcher's the homegrown talent. He's got a sort of quite a big push. He's in Schadenfreude at the moment. He's one of the top guys in Fight Club Pro, so it would be nice to see Kyle Fletcher win. However, I'm going with Neville.
Not Pac. Fuck Pac.
He's still Neville to me. We're not all anti-WWE like yourself. Anyway, next match is Mark Davis against Pentagon Jr. for the Fight Club Pro Heavyweight title. Danny, I'll let you go first.
Got to be Davis, hasn't it? It's
yeah.
There's no way Pentagon's going to hold a full-time schedule, well, not a full-time, but an every show or every other show kind of schedule as a champion here. I think Pentagon's going to be often a lot more busy come May. So yeah, again, Davis, Pentagon. I think we're going to have a really, really fun match though. What about yourself, Davis?
Yeah, well, Davis has only just won the title, I think, last month, so I'll probably go with him. He defended the title in an impromptu match against Jeff Cobb last night. I think they ended that with DQ. So maybe we might get a clean finish in this one. But I wouldn't mind Pentagon holding it, to be honest. Fight Club Pro aren't afraid to have a champion that isn't necessarily on every show. Miko Satomura has been their champion for the last year. She hasn't been on every show, but I suppose it's like the Lesnar effect. Once you've had a year a champion that isn't on every show, you're sort of ready for, you know, like a regular being champion. So yeah, I'll agree with Danny. I'll go with Mark Davis. Hopefully Jeff Cobb appears. He's confirmed for night 2 actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if you see that.
I believe so, yeah. So yeah, for a fucking change, Dan agrees with me. We'll flip you around to the road now, and we'll see you when we get to the building. Hello, good evening boys and girls. We are sat here at a service station, can't remember where.
Kiel Services.
Good old Kiel.
What a place to be.
Because we got lost in the first one, and we ended up back on the motorway. Well done, mate.
Oh, there was no shop there. What do you want me to do? There was no shop, was there?
There was no
There was
shop.
no shop.
There was
just
no
a
shop.
garage.
Just a garage. So Stafford, fuck you.
Yeah, Stafford's a shithole.
So we're just on our way back. We have coffee to keep us up. My cup leaks, so I have 3 or 4 different fucking cups. We have pretzels,
B&M bargain special.
I remember back in the day I used to go out on a Saturday, Friday night. Fucking hell.
This fucking idiot's pulled up right next to us.
It's like everybody
Yeah,
and his fucking
We're
dog.
trying to fucking do a vlog here.
He's packed it. Oh, this idiot's coming over now.
He's going to be
Fucking hell.
thinking, what are these two doing with selfie stick?
Yeah.
To be continued.
Indeed. Good evening, guys. We are heading back to the beautiful northwest coast. Dan's told me he's going to try and not shake the car as he goes over a fucking massive bump. So yeah, apologies for the footage. We were just trying to chill out to the service station with some coffee, wake ourselves up as it's now nearly fucking 12 o'clock midnight. But unfortunately this quiet empty car park turned into a fucking dogging hotspot. Cars to the left of us, cars to the right of us, fucking lights on, lights off. We're trying to do a little fucking YouTube video, and
all the free spaces and a guy. We just moved away from 2 weird looking chaps who'd been eyeing us up in the actual service station. So we moved away from them, and a guy pulled up in the exact space next to us, and we deliberately parked in the disabled part so no one would park next to us. He was not disabled.
We did only park in the disabled bay, knowing that we'd be there for a few moments. However, we are back on the road. We have just enjoyed the Fight Club Pro Dream Tag Team Invitational Day 2 2019.
DTTI.
DTTI.
ITK. I know. I tried saying it in the note, failed.
So, we'll move swiftly on. As you can see, this beautiful countryside out here. First match of the night was forgetful. No, it wasn't. It was the besties in the world. Is that what they were called?
Yeah, that is, with your favourite entrance of the night.
Yeah, they were I mean, first of all, these guys were really good. However, they not only entered to Savage Garden. I think it was Truly Madly Deeply, was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Some twat like that.
Nice kid.
Not only did they enter, they were announced as from the Savage Garden. Not my type at all. Get some fucking metal on.
And then we did get some metal as they were facing
fucking OVE. Ohio versus everybody. The Chris brothers, Dave and Jake. As I say, I'd never seen the besties before, as I'm going to call them from now on. Really impressed with them. These two teams went at each other. Really hot opener, wasn't it?
Yeah, good opener, good opener. That's a crazy spot where the guy... Oh, well, tell them about the guy. Basically, they were fighting through the crowd, and a dad basically just put his little lad on his shoulders so he could see the action. This steward, typical jobs with football type steward, he jogs over, take your kid off your shoulders, you can't do that. And in the meantime, was it Jake Crisp, one of them?
It was Jake, yeah.
He'd climbed basically up the wall, about what, 15 feet high up the wall, and the steward sprints past us thinking that it was a fan.
the stewards, 2 of them, were like, he must have thought to himself, I've literally just told the dad to take a kid off his shoulder, and literally he looked up as he's finished doing it and sees some cunt climbing up the side of a warehouse, and the look on his face, I honestly thought he was going over there, and then another steward does the same. So yeah, that was fun. Great match, loads of really good spots. There was a spot where Dave Christ, I think, had gone for a suplex and suplexed one of the besties into Jake, or Dave, sorry, who then caught his legs on his head and powerbombed him, which was a fucking fantastic spot, wasn't it?
Yeah, great spot.
And we were saying, I think we're both in agreement on this, what we love about tag team wrestling is when it's done properly, when you have one entrance for the fucking team, when the fucking gear matches, when they're introduced as a tag team and they have a tag team name, and when they do tag team moves. That was always the thing. A lot of the time in WWF and WCW, you'd often find you might get the Intercontinental Champion and the World Champion facing off against the tag champs, and the tag champs would usually win because they were supposed to be tag team specialists. Don't get that shit anymore.
Or Vince might see, hey, he's a midget from NXT, Ricochet, and hey, he's another midget from NXT, Aleister Black. Shove him in a damn tag team. Let's fucking nothing in common, nothing at all. They couldn't be more different. Let's get him in a tag team. Carry on, Danny.
Well, to be fair now... stick
up for your mate Vince.
Hang on. To be fair, both Ricochet and Aleister Black, they're both European.
Are they? Ricochet's American.
No, Ricochet, the little Irish lad.
Oh, piss off. You've been dying to get that in.
Little Irish lad with the Dutch lad.
Right, so who wins the match, Danny? I can't fucking remember.
Can't fucking remember. No, it was the besties in the world who got the win.
Danny starts doing their dance after the match.
Danny did not do the Savage Garden dance after the match. So from there we moved on, and we think we're getting the match order a bit fucked up in our heads.
Brooks, wasn't it?
We think it was Chris Brooks versus Hallowicked, with the team, his shower of
Schadenfreude, the greatest faction in European wrestling right now.
With the exception with the exception of the Wrestling Newspaper FM.
Oh fuck yeah.
So yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was alright. It was a 2-star, 2.5-star match. Not a lot going on. You could tell they're doing a 3-day tournament. You don't get it, I don't get it. Let's get the fuck out of here. Get on the coach to Manchester, move on. Yeah, that was it. So we'll move on. I was surprised that Chris Brooks lost, seeing that Fight Club Pro is his home territory, and that's I don't even know his name. What do you call him? Hallowicked. He sounds like a ride at Thorpe Park. Yeah,
does actually.
He does, doesn't he? He sounds like something you'd find at Camelot before it shut down. I bet American listeners are thinking, what are these dickheads on about? Match 3, that was one of my favourite matches of the night. Match 3, it was LAX, that you will all know, against, who's the against? My mind's gone blank.
It was Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm.
Yeah, Jody Fleisch was so impressive, definitely the most impressive out of the two. What a really good match this was. How old's Jody Fleisch?
He's 107. No, he must be in his late 40s, early 50s. I think.
He doesn't look it, does he? He looks like LH Juve with a 6-pack.
It's more than a fucking 6-pack, that mate. He's fucking ripped to shreds. But yeah, it was really good match. Lots of high flying, but lots of bridging up on pins and double bridges. There was some great mat wrestling. Some of the chain wrestling as well was fantastic. Really enjoyable match, and made more so by the fact that both teams paid respect to each other. They both got a fantastic ovation in the end. It was won by the LAX, and they were very magnanimous in terms of making sure the crowd appreciated the efforts of Storm and Fleisch.
Yeah, really good match. There's probably about 3 and 3/4 range. Would you agree with that, Danny? I know you don't like star ratings, but it was about that. It was
a good match. It was much better than the other one, but as we said, you know, Chris Brooks, it was there. It was done for a reason, and Chris Brooks got the win in case of it. No, he didn't.
He got beat.
Sorry. And then obviously LAX got the win. Following on from that,
the main event of the first half of the show, probably the headline match of the show, the match that brought maybe non-regulars to Fight Club Pro, Ray Phoenix versus the aerial assassin, if that is still his nickname, Will Ospreay. And Well, it was everything you expect. The first minute of this match, which I believe you have just watched if you've made it this far into the vlog. An amazing opening exchange in that first minute. Great stuff, set the tone for the match. They went about, what was it, about 20 minutes, Danny?
Maybe a little shorter, but what you did notice is the fucking intensity of the chops.
Oh, yeah, there was echoing through the hangar.
They were like short, sharp chops, but they sounded like Walters and Matt Riddle. It was that, you know. Will was absolutely fantastic. There's some great sequences in this match. However, we've got to get onto it. I've talked on my podcast previously about Will Ospreay and the way that he's changed his style because he's had to.
I think we mentioned that on the earlier video before, didn't we?
We may well have, and I mentioned it on the G1 podcast that we'd done. And frighteningly, in this day 2 of a 3-day tour or show, he nearly fucking crippled himself.
Twice.
He went down, and to sell it was sort of like an inverted DDT of sorts with a spin on it, and rather than hitting flush, he hit his neck in sort of the wrong way, in the way that Rob Van Dam used to do, where he didn't like impale himself. Or
it was a little bit. Do you remember when One Night Stand 2008 maybe? I think Orton broke his collarbone. The fall reminded me a little bit.
I think it looked worse than that. Will Ospreay needed a couple of minutes to, you know, get himself back to normal. Fucking hell, Will, don't do it, lad. The young William, we need to see you around for a lot more years. We need to.
We want to see you pull this stuff out of the bag at MSG. Like 2 weeks ago tonight, we was at MSG watching you against Jeff Cobb. You're at a shithole in Wolverhampton, mate. I know you're trying. You're putting your body on the line, trying to give everyone a great match. You've paid to come, but do you know what I mean? There's a time and a place, mate. There
really is. You've got to save it for the big shows, and this was a good plan. It wasn't a shithole. It was in an industrial warehouse, great atmosphere. A great venue, should say. I wouldn't say the great atmosphere. However, it doesn't need to be done in Wolverhampton in front of maybe 600 people.
About 50 people, about 550 freaks. We've not even mentioned this. So we get our standing position all set. We're all set. Show's about to start. We've got a great view in front of us, right? And what happens? This fucking giant, for the better word, giant fucking big cast comes and stands right in front of us. He must have been about 6'4",
8'6",
8'6", right? He comes and stands right in front of us, and I thought, is he taking the piss, right? I messaged Danny, if you was that tall, you would have the common sense and respect for those around you to buy a seat ticket or stand at the back
where you can see over everyone.
It's just polite.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm not normally as much of a complainer as Daniel. However, I've got to be honest with you, I'm a bigger fella, so when I go to shows, I go and sit on the end of a row, and there's a reason to do it, because it's being courteous to the people around you. I've not only have I got a big belly, but I've got big shoulders as well, so I'll encroach on somebody else's seat, and if they're a bigger guy as well, it just makes everyone uncomfortable. So I will always get the end of an aisle when I'm going to shows, and it's being self-aware and not being selfish. This guy he literally had maybe 2 foot closer to the ring if he'd have stood back and been able to see over anyone's head. But Peter Crouch didn't want to fucking do it, did he?
Fuck off, Peter, your birds are slag. Sorry, the coffee's kicking in, I don't mean it, Abby.
Coffee nearly is kicking it. But yeah, going back to the Ospreay Rey Fenix match, Will seemed to recover, ended the match strong. It was an Ospreay pinfall victory. Wasn't by Oscut, I think, because he was concerned for his arm. It was like a spinning inverted zigzag of some description, but it looked good. He then rushed to the back.
Yeah, he literally, as soon as his music hit, After he got the pin, he sprinted down the aisle, holding his collarbone area. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, but Will Ospreay is known at these shows to come out, get pictures with the fans, sell his merch, and at the interval he was nowhere to be seen. We didn't see him for the rest of the night, so unfortunately I think Ospreay might have suffered a pretty... Well, I don't know. Ospreay, he's probably got a 2-month injury and he'll be back next weekend.
But the worrying thing is with Ospreay, he's going into the most grueling time.
Yeah.
He's going. Hopefully, if he is in the G1,
Dominion coming up as well.
You know,
tour of Australia for New Japan,
and he's obviously a big name in Australia.
Yeah,
he made his home there for a while. So I hope he's okay. We went into a break at this point. Come back, somebody had took our positions.
This couple, basically, they were stood like to the side of us before the Ospreay Phoenix match, and then they decided to be a selfish bunch of people. They stand right in front of me. Now, I'm just saying to Danny, if they'd have said, look, are we alright just standing here? I'd have said, yeah, more the merrier, I hope you enjoy the Ospreay Phoenix match. But to just come and stand in front of me without a care in the world for how it might affect...
Without a fucking care in the world.
Without it affecting how my view of the match might have been. Do you know what I mean? It's just rude, and she's probably cheating on you anyway, so...
Yeah.
Definitely. She was giving everyone the eye.
And he looked a bit cuckoldy, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked like an overweight Adam Cole. If you're listening to this, mate.
If we're listening to this, Adam Cole, we apologise. So, get back after the break. And what's the next match? You're gonna have to remind
next
me.
Match after the break was Pac. Was it Pac against Kyle Fletcher?
It could have been. It could well have been. We are a bit strange on the...
Pac against Kyle Fletcher. I'm coming off at junction 21A, aren't I?
21A, apparently, yes.
Sat-nav's trying to kick me off at 20.
Yeah, no, carry on.
Yeah, because the run corn turns.
Yeah.
Right, anyway. These people, they're getting a beautiful tour of the northern motorways of England.
Indeed. Look, there's Preston, Liverpool.
Hey! We're all Leeds scum.
Every time. So, this was my favourite match of the night. It wasn't what I expected, to be honest. I was expecting more of a high-flying style with Fletcher and
in 0.8 miles, take
Pac.
exit 20 on left to M56.
Sorry, we're just ignoring the sat-nav. I was expecting much more of a high-flying style. I don't think it was that so much. It was a really hard-hitting style, wasn't it?
They built up, they started off slow, they built it up, they didn't do any stupid spots. That is until Neville. Basically, the guardrails are quite close at the hangar, and Neville did a... What move was it off the top rope?
It was a flip over the top, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was a flip, basically a moonsault, a flip into a moonsault. And if anyone's seen how TK O'Ryan done his leg in ROH, it was the same thing. His shin seemed to have hit the guardrail in a very violent manoeuvre. And we were all a bit worried, but he seemed alright. He carried on with the match. He got up after a few seconds. So again, thankfully, it wasn't as serious as we thought. But they were laying into the psychology of Pac really impressed me. They were both heels, weren't they?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known it. They made it work.
They did. When he was going to go for a standing moonsault, and the crowd were ready to get up and get for it, and he just went into a chin lock on the floor.
Yeah, that was a great spot.
Basically doing Mick Foley and the old ECW, where he stopped doing hardcore moves. Fantastic. Really good hard-hitting match, definitely one to watch. This was my most enjoyable match of the night, as I said. Probably the best match, what most people will say, is going to be Will Ospreay versus Ray Phoenix.
We were saying that is probably the best match on the show, the Ospreay Phoenix match in terms of athleticism. But for me and Danny, our personal favourite, we prefer, maybe not as much, I don't mind high-flying, but the layout of the Neville Fletcher match was what was really impressive. I thought Fletcher did a great job for his age as well. So for us, Neville Kyle Fletcher gets match of the night.
Yeah, definitely. I and we go on to, it was the scramble match.
Scramble match, yeah.
I have never seen a scramble match with so many fucking people in it. There was about 18 of the bastards.
Yeah, we had Dan Maloney, this is off the top of my head, Dan Maloney, Jeff Cobb, Chuck Mambo, is it Aita, Neville's partner, or Pac's partner? Who else did we have? We had Connor Mills, Sean's best mate from, Sean's mate from Progress. Apparently Sean hates me though. But yeah, we had obviously, like I said, Jeff Cobb. But yeah, who else?
Sammy Callahan.
Sammy Callahan, yeah.
There was No Fun Done, I don't know what it's
Homicide.
called. The Dunn uses the Homicide used to come into Beanie Siegel, The Truth.
Bam, 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 ba-da, ba-da, ba.
Okay, we'll stop that now. And he used the start of it, and then went into short time. I thought, fuck, Homicide's here because LAX were there. I thought it might have been something that could tie in.
Instead you got Damien Dunn.
Instead we got fucking Dunn, who is, to be fair, a good wrestler. He seems very, very over in Fight Club Pro amongst the fans there. So yeah, then there was a few others. There was another guy from Shikara. Can't remember. He's from
Ray Horace, who I really like.
Was in there. So there was quite a few, but there was about fucking 18 of them, wasn't there? There was a lot. So I at this point went out for a vape and get a bit of fresh air. Dan really enjoyed the match.
Yeah, it was really good. Obviously, you know what you're going to get with like a 10 person scramble match. It was a lot of spots, and they kept teasing Jeff Cobb doing a flip over the top rope. People kept breaking it up. Eventually, Cobb did the flip. That got a big pop. ELP, I think he was back for this. ELP was doing amazing spots where he was walking across the road. ELP, for people who watch New Japan, he's basically going to be in the Bullet Club.
Oh, he is in the club?
Imminently, yeah. He was doing the 2 Sweet Time. So yeah, ELP's he's improved so much in the year or so I've been watching him. Definitely one to watch. El Phantasmo to people who don't want to use the ELP phrase. But yeah, he was really good in this match. But Fight Club Pro were pushing Dan Maloney, so he got the win in this match. So yeah, that was it. It was a fun, spotty match.
It was good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, the main event was the match that got voted on the Fight Club Pro Twitter as the most anticipated match of the night. It was Mark Davis defending the Fight Club Pro World Heavyweight title against Pentagon Jr. Danny, you met a friend while you was vaping who was excited for this one, didn't you?
I think I may need to do a mini podcast episode on him. Yeah, it was a guy basically come out, a really nice guy, come out in an AEW shirt and basically said, this is all I'm looking forward to, this main event, because I'm all elite. I was like, right, okay. I said, well, this is my first time here and I've really enjoyed it. He said, oh yeah, I come twice a month or whenever it's on. I'm like, fucking hell. Anyway, nice enough guy.
We're not going to bury him, but
this is we're not. Yeah. I might bury him a bit more later on.
Yeah, we'll bury him off. We already have.
So next level.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, we went into this match, and I think both of us were really looking forward to it, weren't we?
Yeah.
We went in, and it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was very, very average.
It was the weakest match on the show. Except maybe the Brooks match.
Yeah, except the Chris Brooks match. It was
on left to M62.
It wasn't.
And that is nothing on Chris Brooks, by the way. We both like. He's a really nice guy. Do you not like him?
He's a bit too much of the Mark Haskins role. He doesn't seem to change up. No, I do.
I know what you mean.
Seem to change up his
trying to find himself as a singles wrestler.
Maybe so. And it was a very average match. It was went on for a little bit and it didn't really produce. Dan was saying to me before the match that he thinks Mark Davis should be more aggressive and shouldn't give so much away. I like both of these guys. I was looking forward to a good match, but early on in the match, Pentagon hits a Canadian Destroyer and then follows it up with a Super Canadian Destroyer straight away and gets 2 counts. Now I said, I don't know whether this makes Davis look strong because he kicked out 2, or whether he shouldn't have got that offense in the first place. And if he did, it should have been towards the end of the match when he's a bit more a bit more waylaid, so to speak. It wasn't great for me. I expected a lot more, but again, this is the second night of a 3-night tour. There may be plans for tomorrow for both guys. So, I mean, is that pretty much sum it up for you?
I know what you're saying. Like, for me, I've said that I think Pentagon can sometimes phone it in on these shows, which we can't bury him for, because we were saying Will Ospreay maybe should have done that, but Ospreay isn't going to do that. But to me, it's the main event. It's for the Fight Club Pro title. If you're just going to have a random 10-minute match, whatever it was, with not a lot happening, you don't have to have the title on the line for it.
No.
And maybe position Ospreay against Phoenix as the main event, or even it's the Tag Team Invitational, isn't it? Have maybe one of them matches main event, because
going past Gulliver's World.
Right. So yeah, so as I say, it was a bit of a disappointing main event, but at the end of the day, we got our money's worth, and there was some really good matches on the show. As I was saying to Danny on the way out, there wasn't a lot of Fight Club Pro in the main matches. They weren't really using Fight Club Pro regulars. There was a lot of like people from other companies. So for me personally, who attends a lot of Fight Club Pro shows, I could tell a difference with how the show went. It felt more of an exhibition than, say, maybe story-centered show. But yeah, there were some really good matches. I'd say the matches were all good to very good. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing out of this world. Obviously, Phoenix Ospreay was probably your, I don't know, 4-star match, whatever you want to call it. It was a really good match. We obviously enjoyed one of the tag matches, the LAX match, and Neville Fletcher.
I enjoyed both tag matches actually. Very
Go
good.
and watch Pac against Fletcher if you got Fight Club Pro on demand. Just get it. It's only a $5. It's well worth it. So yeah, go and check that out. Danny, what were your first time at Fight Club Pro? I know you've had a bit of issues with the fans. What were your thoughts on the show, the venue, everything about the day?
Venue's good. It's a bit different to shows that I've seen in the past in terms of the people that were there. It's hard to say without upsetting people, but
Bury him.
no, I'm not. It's not really what I want to do. But there didn't seem to be that voracious appetite that I thought that I'd find when we go there, of not even chanting, but just getting behind it after taking notice. People more interested in making funny comments. It wasn't the crowd that I was expecting to find there.
You should have asked me. I'd have said before. You know what I mean? It's not. I bury Progress fans, but you get a better atmosphere at a Progress show than you do Fight Club Pro. I'd say. I don't really like Progress, but yeah, I go to Fight Club Pro really. I just enjoy watching the wrestling side of it. I can sort of zone out the fans. But I know what Donnie means.
Well, we're going to wrap that up here. I'm going to piece this together and we'll get it up on the YouTube channel. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you can subscribe to the channel and post any comments underneath. Please bury Dan, not me. I'm the nice guy. So thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, Dan.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. We're probably going to do another one of these for, what's the next event we're going to, Danny?
Either Progress or New Japan Royal
we
Quest.
should try and find a show we can go together to do this at.
Okay.
There must be one. You don't sound too up for it.
Yeah.
We'll go to a PCW show.
Right, but thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend and a great week to come.
Yeah. See you later, everyone.
Bye. Okay, guys, this is Danny just signing off the video. Apologies for the footage in the car. Obviously, with the situation we had in the service station with the people attempting to dog with us. I was expecting people to come out with owl masks and stuff. Do you remember that Channel 4 documentary? Bit strange. But yeah, I'm signing off now. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. This is the first time we've done anything like this, so hopefully we can learn from it in the future where things will get better and more professional. So thank you again. We've enjoyed Fight Club Pro, and I am having, because I've been very well behaved today, I'm having a little beer, and then I'm going to go to bed. So thanks to Dan for taking us down all the way to Wolverhampton. Cheers.